Welcome in to Behind the Script Day. My name is Emily Grace McCorder, and we're here today with Alabama basketball. We will jump right in with Latrell Wrightsell. Latrell, take me back to the beginning of this year when you were in the midst of deciding if you were going to be sitting across from me wearing a Script Day on your uniform. There were a lot of unknowns. What was that like?
It was questionable because I just didn't really know where I was going to be at. With the injury, with just playing basketball again, with an injury like that, you never know if you're going to be able to recover. You never know if Oates is moving on, just with other players and stuff like that. It's hard to trust someone to come back for the next year after they just did it the year before. And, you see in the NBA, guys to sit out the next year, the whole year and stuff like that. So just, mentally, it was definitely a challenge. And then with Clark, I never thought he would take me that serious, but he actually took me in like I was his kid. And him and Henry Barea, both of those guys, they basically took me in like I was their own. They were up here at 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. We were in here for 12-hour days, just literally rehabbing to get to me where I am right now. So yeah, that was cool.
Most people can't really fathom bouncing back from what you went through, but you did.
Yeah.
What was that process like for you?
It was definitely a long one. I had a lot of doubts, a lot of questions, a lot of concerns of would I be the same player. And I always just look at previous players. So I looked at guys in the NBA, but you never know what they get and what type of treatments they get to recover so quick. So I just really thought I didn't think it was going to ever happen for me to be able to play again this quick. But I mean, I'm really big in faith. I really got deeper with Jesus Christ and definitely I started reading the Bible actually this year when the year started, and I'm still on my ongoing journey of reading through it. So yeah, that probably opened a lot for me to just dive deeper into Jesus and understand him and put my faith in that. So with that being said, him, Jesus Christ, and Clark and Hen, they all saved my life. Yeah.
I love that. You keep smiling when you talk about Clark and your relationship with the Lord. But I'm curious with Clark, how did he tailor his expertise, and what was your relationship like with him these past 11 months? And you've kind of alluded to it, but I want to hear more about that.
Yeah, it was really, at first, it was like a disconnect because I just didn't have faith. I didn't believe it. I was just I remember when I first injured it, he told me before we left on the plane from Vegas, he was like, "You're going to be back better than ever." And I was like, "Yeah, no." I was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." And he called me as soon as we landed, as soon as I got home, he called me and I was like, "All right, he's really serious." And he was like, "As soon as you have surgery, the day after you have surgery, we'll be doing work." So in the hotel room, I had surgery that day. He came to see me that night, that afternoon, as soon as I got back. And that next morning, I was doing treatment, and I was like, all right, this is really serious. He's taking it serious. And I was like, I'm just trusted. I'm going to just go all the way in, not leave any doubts, go do whatever he tells me to do. And I trusted him, and he trusted me, and we actually created a bond that, I think we just talk about everything now. It's just more than basketball. We talk about football, NFL, NBA, golf. He's
golf
taught me,
too.
yeah.
Are you playing golf these days?
Yeah,
a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just been another father figure for me actually. And it's been really cool to just have that bond and for him to just take me under his wing and really have a work ethic and the same work ethic as me. That was a big thing for me.
Why do you think that you had those doubts to begin with of if you were going to come out on the other side of this?
I just when you look at it in previous history or with injuries, when everybody says a torn Achilles, they say that's a career-ending injury. And so that was the first thing that struck my mind. I didn't want to believe it was the Achilles at all until I actually had surgery. I was always just telling them yeah, my calf. It's just my calf. It's just my calf. And yeah, and when I like actually had the surgery and Dr. Waldrop told me like it's my Achilles tendon, I was just like, yeah, I was devastated. So yeah.
Yeah, and now we're back into the groove. You're working hard. We've heard from Coach Oates how hard you worked. And you said it yourself, the day after surgery, you were already rehabbing. I mean, it's amazing. But there had to be something about this team now that you thought was special to make that decision to come back because, you know, you're the lone guy left from that Final Four run.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you? What did you see in this team that let you know, like, I need to come back for that?
I think the chemistry, with what we have going into this year, we need the chemistry to know we can do it. And with me being on the team and being a leader that has made it to the Final Four where everybody else wants to go, like I understand what it takes, the bond that we have to grow. And the guys that were here, that were coming back, I had really grown a bond with them just through injury. Like most of the guys just checking on me a lot and stuff like that. And they made it really family oriented. And then like Clark and Hen, like they really changed my life. Like I said, like in just terms of work ethic, taking care of my body on and off the court. And I would even go all the way to Amanda. She was a really big help too. We call it like our pyramid. We with those three and me, like we called it a diamond. We have a group chat where we just talk. Like I just did I changed my whole eating thing. I went 75 days straight water, no snacks, everything. I went to sleep before 9 p.m.
Wow.
So it was like it really changed like the way I like lived life on and off the court. So yeah, that was the reason really why I came back. And for my teammates like Baron, Biz, like we were cool as soon as they came in, and ever since I was like, yeah, I want to play with them again. And Houston as well, Sherelle. And then when I met the guys that came in, they were all just really genuine and all had like a real work ethic. So yeah, I was like, yeah, I can't wait.
I can feel your excitement with this, and it's fun because I love hearing these like different side stories and things like that. But you mentioned that Final Four and how it takes a different level to reach it, and everyone's trying to get there.
Yeah.
What is that? What do you have to get to?
I think one, it starts with communication between your teammates, and that's team bonding. A lot of times guys don't like, there's a lot of talent, but if you can't communicate to each other on the court, it doesn't work. And that doesn't mean communicating like offense or defense wise. How can you get on your teammate and how can they respond? Can they take criticism from you? Do they have the same trust and bond that you have to yell at them and then respond the same way, or will they just shut down? And so like that year in the Final Four, we had a lot just back and forth in practice, in the games, with coaches and everything else. But at the end, through the whole run, it all panned out because we knew that if he got yelled at or somebody got yelled at, we knew how he will respond or how we will respond. And I feel like now, like, we still talk in a group chat, that whole Final Four team. Like, it's crazy because you wouldn't think like we were that close, but like we just always text like, I miss you boys, I miss y'all, da-da-da. And it's like, it's cool to see because like if you looked at it from the outside looking in through our practices, you'd be like, yeah, they not cool. And then like, but now it's crazy. We just played a game together. So yeah, it's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So looking ahead to this season, what have you been focusing on with your game? Obviously, you have the rehab from injury you're covering there. What is some focal points that you really want to develop?
Something I really want to develop is being on the ball more, being able to facilitate for my team. I can shoot pretty good, but I think facilitating for me this year, because I'll create a lot of advantages with being able to shoot the ball. So being able to like set up my teammates and stuff like that, especially the new guys, get them going early and being able to be a leader and just being vocal more. Yeah. So definitely being able to set up my teammates. That's probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
We're getting really close this season. We were talking about it before we jumped on here. What is your mental load right now? Like, how are you kind of staying grounded? How are you staying focused as we enter the time of year where it just gets so crazy?
Yeah, definitely. I would say one, staying in my Bible, going to church every Sunday. We also do a Bible study with our team on Monday. Scotty holds a Bible study every Monday. We go and do fellowship there at the dining hall. and that just keeps me grounded, keeps me stable, and keeps me humble, and able to handle all the load that I get right now. And so, like, that's the biggest thing. And then just, too, having great teammates. They're really cool. They're not like, bad people. And everybody's genuine. And then also, coach is just really straight to it, holds us accountable, and it just keeps us all grounded and stuff.
What
like
is
that.
Coach Oates like in practice?
You can get two sides. Sometimes when he comes in the film, if you know it's going to be a crazy practice, if he talks up there and is like, all right, this is what we doing today. But if he comes in and lets the assistants talk, and it's not chill. It's never chill. But it's like you can tell, like, it'll be super intense to where, like, he's not letting you get if you don't get the drill, you're going to go until the drill's done. But then there's some days where it's like, all right, we got to time manage. We need to do everything. We'll let this slide. But on those days where he doesn't let the drill slide, you can be doing a drill for 40 minutes straight, and he'll be yelling at you for those 40 minutes.
40 minutes straight?
Yeah.
What drill is it? What has it been?
Perfect stops. That's the drill.
Perfect stops.
Yeah.
Walk me through that. What is that?
Okay, so it's either 4-on-4 or 5-on-5, and the defense has to basically have a perfect 30 seconds of defense. And their clock resets, so they put the time at 10 minutes, and it goes down to 10 minutes. The offense, they keep scoring offense. It's all in half court. Coach stands at the top of the key. He throws it to anybody, and the defense are all inside the key. They have to get a stop with a perfect high hand, no middle drives. You can't give up an offensive rebound, and every time there's a score or an offensive rebound, the shot clock resets.
Oh, my goodness.
So you can go, we've done that drill for a long time.
A long time.
Yeah.
I don't think I would survive one of y'all's practices. I think that's pretty obvious. But with that being said, as you guys have been training and practicing this season, what do you feel like is the identifying factor of this team?
I think the identifying factor is our defensive mentality. I feel like a lot of times, like, it's like a misconception because we play so good on offense and we play so fast that a lot of times people are always saying, well, we know they'll just outscore people. They won't be able to get stops. But this year has been a real emphasis, and we started early rather than the years I've been here on defense in the summer. And we've been, like, really emphasizing that, and we have the guys to do it to where we have length, athleticism, and guys that are picking up full court to just play defense and show that we're actually a defensive school too, that we can play defense, but we're just really skilled offensively.
My last question for you is, when you think back to what you went through with your injury, and you said it yourself, usually when we hear Achilles injury, you think career ending, season ending, but that wasn't the case for you. What would you say to a younger athlete, an athlete that's going through something similar, that you wish you would have heard, and what advice would you give them?
One thing I would always give to a younger person or just someone going through the same injuries as me is it always gets better. It'll never stay the same. I know that the times are always, like, hard, and when you're in a hard moment, you can't see the brighter future. But I know, like, if you continue to push through it, it'll always get better, and just stay consistent in what you do and just believe and have faith. And ultimately, God has a story for each and every one of us. So if you just have faith and believe that everything will get better, the Lord will bless you.
I hope you guys enjoyed that interview as much as I did with Latrell, that you learned something, you got to know him a little bit more, and you got to know Alabama basketball a little bit better. Until next time, this is Cover Crimson.